This presentation is all about style and how we should be writing in any sort of professional document. This is really important for your first small writing assignment where you're taking on the style and tone of an entire company. You're becoming this representative as you're trying to persuade a local business to supply your product. So style is something that's really important to kind of get the hang of and really understand what it means. So when I first say the word style, we usually think of what you're seeing in front of you. So this could be something like fashion, as normal or ridiculous as it is, anything like art, modern or traditional, architecture, something that usually represents who you are as a person. It is like judging a book by its cover. What you see in front of you represents maybe what's deeper beneath it, like a person. So when we're thinking about style when we're writing, we're thinking about what makes them unique, what is setting them apart from others, and what's really developing, their sense of ethos. Style is very dependent on the context and situation and even audience that you're writing. And this can be, your writing itself can be dressed up or down, entirely depending on whatever situation it is you're writing for. So style is not a matter of right and wrong, but what is appropriate for a particular setting and audience. That's something that's really important to take a look or to keep in mind as we move along throughout the semester. So a few elements of style, we have three different main things that I want you to think about. Word choice, sentence fluency, and voice. So word choice can be either precise words, active verbs, concrete nouns, or specific adjectives. This is the language that you're using to really paint a clear picture for your audience. So depending on what words you use, they could really understand what you're saying, they can really picture it. If you're using words that are really jargony, maybe it's really hard for them to understand what you're talking about. Maybe you should use an alternative. So these are some things that you should think about when you're talking and thinking about style. Sentence fluency is how your sentence reads if it was spoken or even when somebody's reading it inside their head. This is the flow or rhythm of phrases and sentences. So are your sentences breath-like? Are they easy to see or say and read aloud? Or are they very long and elaborate where somebody needs to, take a couple of breaths as they're reading? This can all work to better comprehension or, having somebody have a hard time understanding what you're saying, depending on how long or short your sentences are and how fluid they are when you're speaking them. And your voice is really reflective. It's probably the most personal part of it, of your personality. So are you coming off as somebody who's reliable or passionate, somebody who's professional, or are you coming off really strong or authoritative? So your voice and the word choice and the sentence fluency and how you're shaping your writing really helps a reader understand who you are as a person, as a writer, even more so. And this can change again from context or from situation to situation. So there's two different main types of style that we'll be talking about throughout the semester. We have plain and we have persuasive. Plain style is very the biggest thing about it is it's stressing clarity and accuracy. It's very short, simple, concise, and they're very common in workplace documents, technical descriptions, instructions, and activity reports. These are documents that you just need to say flat out what it is. People don't have a lot of time. They need to understand it in a very short amount of time and, with little background knowledge. So having very concrete, short descriptions, very action-oriented, these will all help your readers. Persuasive style is where you're influencing readers to accept your ideas or take some sort of action. This is a little bit more passionate form of writing. So you're using similes or metaphors, a lot more flowery language. You're maybe playing with your pace or your energy, and you're maybe painting a very visual picture, all to persuade your readers. These are very common in proposals, sometimes letters, articles, presentations, and some different forms of reports. So when we're writing a proposal, which is going to be happening later, you're going to be really wanting to persuade somebody to take action to go ahead and do your whatever solution that you come up for this problem. And your small writing assignment for this project 0, you're writing a persuasive letter, a sales letter, where you're trying to convince a local shop to take your product into their store. So you really want to persuade them based off of maybe their different goals, their needs at the moment. You're going to be playing around with your language. Maybe you're really representing the company's youthful energy, whatever it is. You're trying to play with this bit of persuasion, excuse me. So I have two examples for you, one from a resume and one from a proposal. So the resume is the one that's using that plain style. So we're being very clear and accurate in our word choice. So this example says, edited and formatted journal articles for the ISEA conference. Very quick and to the point. Somebody reading this on a resume would understand exactly what I was saying and can get an understanding of previous work history without elaborating too much or getting lost in too much language. The second is a more persuasive form of writing, and this is coming from a proposal. So an estimated 1.5 million individuals in the United States have been diagnosed with ASD. Today, 1 in every 100 children is born with autism spectrum disorder. So in this proposal, the form of persuasion they're using is with really hard numbers, really painting this picture of a devastating large amount of individuals who've been diagnosed with ASD, playing on the 110 children, one in every 110 children is born with this disorder as well. So playing with numbers to really grab attention for their readers. So that's all I have right now for your style presentation. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them to the Writers Lounge. I hope that this helps paint a little bit clearer picture for what I mean when we talk about style and tone in your own writing.